We're going to start with this Susie CO. A female cop gets caught seducing inmates. As you can see, it's either a nervous tick or a not worried tick. She playing with her nails over there. We're going to go from there. Y'all let me know what's popping in the chat. And, we'll be here as long as we can. Holla.
This is Charlene O'Banion, a prison officer being accused of sleeping with an inmate.
You felt me, I was like soaking through my clothes.
After hearing rumors from other officers that had seen her and Jason Parker together, an investigation was opened up.
She got a new uniform on here. The pink stripes. What's that, Arizona? Ain't that Arpeo that did that? Put you in the pink joint?
Charlene thinks she flew under the radar and got away.
And there she is in her thin blue line CO uniform.
But what she doesn't know is that the detectives have all the evidence they need, and they're about to expose and embarrass her in the most brutal way possible.
You got a live ass head game. Oh my God.
Right from the start,
Superhead the CO. Sheesh.
Charlene plays innocent and pretends she doesn't know anything about the allegations.
We're notified of a possible improper relationship between you and Jacob Parker. So we're here for that, and I just kind of wanted to talk to you about it and get your side of that story.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
She don't know nothing about it. Absolutely nothing.
You talked to him on any jail phone calls or anything like that?
No.
None at all?
Charlene is sure that this will work, but the detectives have much more evidence than they're letting.
She sure would've worked. Stonewalling them and just saying I don't know. Is that gonna work? Being a CO, she should know what they got on her already.
Charlene is sure that this will work, but the detectives have much more evidence than they're letting on.
And where would you think that this allegation would come from if there's nothing to it?
Well, I had a feeling this was coming. So there was an inmate named Coker, Justin Coker.
Okay.
He got out of here.
Wait, a minute ago she said she had no clue what none of it was about, and now she's like, I had a feeling this was coming down the pipeline.
For I don't know what period of time. And he tried to contact me on Facebook. He sent me a message and I blocked him on Facebook. And I guess one time Parker was going back to Bequat to use the bathroom, and he was talking like at the window with me. Mm-hmm. And I guess Coker like didn't like that, which I had no contact with him or anything. And Parker had told me that
she got a whole story about how Buddy didn't like what the other dude did as far as she's concerned, but she ain't talked to nobody. I ain't talked to nobody. I don't know nothing about it. But there was a dude that was here. He got out. He hit me up on Facebook. Well, he had seen me talking to the other guy one time. He didn't like that. Not that I know that because I never spoke to him. Like, she wilding already. She going away.
He had gone up to him and was like, don't talk to her or something crazy like that.
So I'm just not trying to be rude here. I'm just, yeah. Why would you expect this
If you see my eyes darting around, I'm just looking at the things. This is all new to me. I'm trying to make sure everything's working.
Conversation to come up from that, like now, if that happened a few months ago.
Charlene claims that the only time she's had contact with Jason was a single time outside the jail bathroom, and it was a jealous inmate that started the rumor. But the detective is about to share some evidence that instantly proves that Charlene is hiding something.
I don't know exactly how it started, like who it started from. But I was told that it was brought to somebody's attention, and then we looked at jail calls, and there was jail calls between you and Parker. And
now that's the part I don't understand. Having a badge, being a CO, you don't realize they're recording every word on that phone. You don't realize they hear everything, they see everything. Now, mind you, they don't see everything. If they saw everything, dope wouldn't get into jails, but stop it, shorty. You didn't know that while y'all was talking about how you got Superhead on the phone, they weren't recording you? Stop.
All that stuff's recorded. So I don't think you're being completely truthful. Well, I kind of know that you're not. And I'm not trying to be rude when I say that.
Yeah, no.
I'm just kind of trying to lay it out on the table for you. Mm-hmm. So can you kind of tell me what's going on?
I guess a few years ago, we talked, and then I ended up here and then he ended up here. I didn't know he was here. I didn't.
So she knew him before she was a CO and before he was in that joint. Okay. That's different.
Like, it wasn't anything like that.
It wasn't what?
And
Apparently, Charlene and Jason knew each other before prison and messed around before they both ended
there
up
it
here.
is.
This led to them
She had a conflict of interest from jump.
joking around with each other here, but nothing else. Or at least, that's what she claims. In reality, the cops have recorded phone calls from inside the prison that tell a completely different story.
They got a mixtape,
So we
shorty.
got some of these phone conversations.
no, not here or the phone. I thought
No,
you were
I just
talking
mean
about phone.
conversations y'all are having on the phone.
No.
Since he's been in here.
Like sexual?
Well, I'm not saying having phone sex, talking about sexual acts. From what I'm listening to on the calls, I take it as that you've given him oral sex at some point, is what
No.
I gather from these
See, that means Buddy knows the slang.
calls.
No, that was like in the world, but we never dated. We just.
Okay. What
Smash.
kind of conversations have you had with him since you started working here and he's been in the jail?
I don't know, just talking about what would happen after he got out.
And then the jail call recordings, have you been talking to him like while you're at home? Like he calls you from the jail while you're at home, or?
Mhm.
Okay.
Just 15 minutes into this interrogation, Charlene's original story is seeming less and less like
Nah,
the
she's
truth.
confessing
She's
at
been
this
caught
point.
in multiple lies, admitted to having sexual relations with Jason in the past.
Every time they catch her in a lie, she reformulates the story, which until just digs her deeper. You popped, put on the pink pajamas, it's home now.
And calling him regularly from her own home. This is highly irregular behavior for a prison officer, and it doesn't take a genius to realize something deeper may be going on. But the detective has some more questions pertaining to some more physical evidence.
I haven't listened to this, but apparently there may be some talk in the calls about like photographs. Have you given him any photographs?
Mm-mm.
That wasn't convincing. Y'all convinced? That wasn't convincing. I'm pretty sure he got the selfie stash somewhere. She was definitely not convincing.
I gave him a photograph of his mom, which he had asked for, and of his dog, Jax.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you given him any photographs of you?
Mm-mm.
You a lie.
So one of the things we're going to be doing is like looking at cameras and stuff too. Has there been any times where y'all were alone?
Mm-mm.
Any
Lie.
camera view or anything like that? Anything that's going to look suspicious that way?
I don't think so.
It's important to remember that Charlene has worked at this prison for a while now, and as such will know all the ins and outs of everything such as security camera blind spots and patrol officer schedules. You'd think that with all this knowledge, it'd be easy to hide a relationship with an inmate. But it seems that she forgot about a few vital pieces of information. Not least the facts that all phone calls placed from the prison
Yeah, I
are
understand that
recorded.
part. You gotta be a different kind of stupid to not know that they're recording everything.
Thanks to the detectives, she's about to be reminded
Oh,
of
the
this fact
mixtape
in
is out.
a devastating way.
Hey, baby.
Got that.
Baby, guess what?
What, babe?
I just won the blackjack game.
Oh, won the blackjack game. Oh, shit.
Yay.
It was at this moment. She knew.
I just won $30.
I got a lot of stuff to clean and get rid of before you come home. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah, that
fucking
fake ass laugh.
just trying to make you think I have all these secret things.
Yeah, I bet you do.
What?
Popped.
What?
What? What do you mean?
I don't know. You probably got this weird sex swing hanging from the ceiling. Kenneth probably thinks it's a swing set.
Oh, if I had that sex swing, you better believe I'd leave that sucker up for you.
Would you really?
Hell yeah.
You'd let me put you in it?
That's a Disney.
Yeah.
With a gag bar and everything?
Yeah, babe.
Listening to your own voice.
All her superiors sitting around, all her, not even superiors, the people that work along, all her co-workers that got to hear this mixtape. But she ain't the only Sucia in jail. There's plenty of Sucias and Sucios in jail, I'm sure.
voice can be bad enough for some people, but listening to your own sexual phone calls in silence with two detectives in the room
Staring
as
at
you
you.
realize you've just been caught red-handed has got to be worse than any prison sentence there is. However, with the language they've used so far, there's no evidence that the pair have actually engaged in any sexual acts. But that
So is that even a charge? Just being on the phone? I guess not. Just being on the phone with an inmate, talking crazy, talking about your life together when you get out. Where's the conflict of interest? How they know she's not bringing in cell phones and guns and whatever she can for Buddy?
That changes quickly as Jason begins to directly incriminate Charlene on the call.
I just want you to look at me sometimes and be like,
And he knew. Don't tell me he didn't know that they was recording. He was more than well aware. He didn't give a shit. He more than well aware that she's being recorded, even if she's ignorant to the fact, or he's just playing dumb. He knows they're recording all this.
damn, my woman's fine.
Fine as wine.
Hmm.
And you got a live ass fucking head game.
Boom, put her on blast.
My God.
That was it. That's enough right there to put her in the pajamas.
It wasn't my best moments. I was just trying to get it done.
Meh, meh. Are you in bed?
Don't even get me thinking about that because it makes me so horny. Just going back and thinking about,
Yo, she's dying in that
You
room.
get you horny?
oh yeah, you felt me. I was soaking through my clothes. Get very horny very easy. I always want to have
Not
sex.
good.
That's not even.
Not good.
I mean, it's not like I just look at someone. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so fucking horny. No, of course, I only get horny for you.
You can't see how that sounds from my point of view. A more recent thing than 3 years ago.
It sounds like she has some extracurricular activities going on out back.
The audacity she has to say no after hearing that phone call is truly remarkable. But to her credit, she's not going down easily. The detectives try asking her if she thinks
going down
Jason would
anyway.
cover for her, and she still doesn't break, sticking to her story that everything that happened outside of prison. Technically, this story could still be true with this phone call, but it definitely is odd for the couple to be recounting events from over 3 years ago in such detail, especially when earlier she struggled to remember any details about their relationship.
No,
You
it
talk
didn't
about
exist.
how profound this was, just giving him this blowjob was, but you don't remember anything.
Damn,
about
detective.
anything about it. It's telling me something, but you're having trouble coming up with details about it. You know what I mean? If it's that profound.
I gave him a blowjob. How do you describe the blowjob? Is that
Well,
what
I'm
you
not
want?
going
just
to
did.
about the blowjob. I'm just
Yeah.
so if this is a
He just said
factual thing that happened 3 years ago, I feel like you would kind of remember some stuff about it.
Like we said in the car,
Like when I asked you who was
Confessing,
there,
shorty.
him of course, when y'all met or whatever, and then when I asked who else, you said it was a bunch of friends,
yeah.
but you can remember one
I mean,
chick's
I was with
name
my
after
friend
you
Chris.
think about it for 30 seconds. So,
Oh, okay, that's what's happening. All right. So she's talking about the 3 years ago. I don't know how long she's worked at the jail. So 3 years ago she met him. So yeah, so he might have got the dome 3 years ago. They're talking about it now. Or did he get the dome in jail? This is not as cut and dry as it looks. This is a little tricky one.
that's not making sense to me.
You seem to have blanks in your memory when we get to certain details, but you remember being groped in the blowjob from 3 years ago. I find that hard to believe. Okay? This is your one chance to be honest with us.
Yes.
Once we get up and walk out and we're done, we're done.
Don't say
We
nothing.
don't have any inappropriate contact, whether it's groping.
The answer is no.
blowjobs,
Investigation
vaginal,
over.
Anal sex, anything, hand jobs. Yes, I am being vulgar to get a point across.
Yeah, no, it's not. None of that.
Just as the detectives say, things really aren't adding up. Yet
That's it. All she had to do was just say no.
You're not ready.
she's still
Investigation
sticking to
over.
her story. Or at least she was, before a switch flipped and she said this.
And what is it?
I might have given him a blowjob.
Oh, you tweaked.
In the back part of the decoy? Okay. How long ago was that?
I don't know, a few months ago.
The secret's out, and Charlene has confessed. But this matter is more
They baited
complex
her.
than it may seem.
She's stupid.
In cases of officer-inmate relations, the main...
Nah, she might have still lost her job. They might have still been watching her. But all she had to do was say no. They got information over the phone about what happened 3 years ago. It's unclear whether he's talking about 3 years ago or now. All she had to say was no. We didn't have any, I did not have any sexual relations with that man in this prison. But then what she do? She put her foot in her mouth, and now she's wearing the pink pajamas.
The question that arises is the issue of consent. Given that Jason and Charlene knew each other prior to being in prison, it's not wrong to assume that consent went both ways in this interaction. However, in these cases, that's actually completely irrelevant. According to a 2005 report, federal law criminalizes all sexual relations and contact between prison staff and inmates, and that all sexual relations between staff and inmates are considered abuse,
but it don't say
even
when.
if the act would have been considered consensual if it occurred outside of a prison. This is because of the huge amount of inmate abuse that was observed in prisons. In 1996, it was estimated that between 12 and 14% of all prison inmates had been sexually assaulted, and the officers were rarely punished. So to prevent this, a zero-tolerance policy was introduced to try and prevent abuse towards inmates. A policy, it seems, that Charlene completely ignored.
You tweak, shorty, you didn't have to say
I
nothing.
know the answer. I'm losing my job.
And you going to
that's,
jail.
That's not really up to me. Internal Affairs is aware. Investigation is separate from ours because it's two totally different things. So
Yeah. What kind of charges would, like,
They should charge you
it's
for being
illegal to have
stupid too.
sexual
For
contact with an inmate as an employee. So I said the ball kind of be in their court, but I'll let you know as soon as I hear.
all she had to do was not cop to doing it in the jail. That's it. She'd have been straight. They didn't have no proof that she did it in jail. What a dummy.
something.
I mean, would I go to jail?
Oh, you going to
That's up to
jail?
the DA's office.
As it turns out, Charlene would lose her job, and the only time she'd ever be allowed back in jail would be for the 100 days that she'd be made to serve after being found guilty of sexual activity with a person in custody.
You tweak. You gave yourself that 100 days. That was on you. You did that to yourself. Well, the conclusion of that is she should have shut her mouth, because that was a tricky situation right there. She dealt with dude before she was the CO and before he was in that joint. That's fair play. They talking on the phone while he's in the joint. If there's no charge there, then there's no charge there for them talking on the phone. But while they on the phone, he's talking about how she's a savage with the top. The investigators can't pinpoint if he's talking about the top that he got in jail or the top that he got 3 years ago. So they ask her. All she got to do is keep her mouth shut. She fails to do so, she's wearing pink stripes for 100 days. Getting smacked up because she used to be a CO.